Welcome to Getting to Know You, an Owners Club exclusive podcast. Today we are featuring Brett Flory. I'm excited to get to know Brett. He is new to Owners Club this year, and I'm excited to see what he has to share with us. Hi, Brett.
Hey, thanks for
Hey,
having me on the show.
absolutely. Glad to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I actually started my undergrad as an entrepreneur and marketing. That was back in early 2000s, and I ended up going the medical route. So I ended up becoming a physician assistant, and now I've gone into real estate full time. I'm married with three kids, and so my kids are 8, 5, and 2, so ages very young, which can also be a lot when it comes to switching careers.
Absolutely. What inspired you to leave a physician's assistant job for real estate? What was the inspiration?
Primarily just working for someone else. I also saw, especially post COVID, how the medical field was actually transitioning. And if I truly wanted any kind of real generational wealth, it was not going to come from a W 2.
Mm, yeah, very good. Um, so walk us through the process to jumping from one career field into real estate and what brought you to Owners Club. What's your journey been up to Owners Club?
Yeah. So I started out back in 2022. I went on my honeymoon with my wife to Maui. We stayed in a short-term rental. That was my first time ever staying in a short-term rental, and I was like, "Oh, something like this would be a awesome way to generate some income on top of my W-2." And so I was like, "Well, maybe I should look into getting a short-term rental." Then I was like, "Well, if you can do that, then maybe, you can get a duplex or a quad or something like that that would generate even more money." And then after a while, I was like, well, if you can do that, why don't you just get into multifamily? But then I was like, well, people don't just sell one, then buy another, then sell that one and buy another until they can afford a multifamily. There's got to be an easier way. And through that journey is when I came across like Sub Two and Paces communities. And so I jumped in there. That was the end of 2022. 2023, tried some partnerships, tried some private money lending. Unfortunately, neither really went all that well, but I wasn't ready to give up. And so I started getting into um, lending again, but this time where instead of using a connector, I was the one doing the loans. And then I really started networking with intent last year, so 2024. And that was for gap loans, first positions. That was my main focus. And the business kind of took off. Started doing tons of loans to the point that, now I could step away from my W 2 and have a little bit more freedom to really focus on the real estate side and my entrepreneurial background. Um, but through that, obviously, there's been some hardships. And so for 2025, I really started transitioning more to only transactional type loans. Um, I still am doing loans for good borrowers that I've come across last year, but this year, when we're talking about like our Mount Everest, I'm really focused on helping 100 or more wholesalers do transactional funding, whether EMD or double closes, to scale their business while also trying to generate $1 million business on my end. And so I've also made some good connections, some with some dispo and one with a large law firm that does deferred sales trust. So when it comes to business owners selling their businesses or multifamily portfolio owners selling their large apartment complexes, if they're looking to defer their capital gains tax, that's what that law firm is primarily focused on. And so there's a lot of different moving parts. There's a lot of
Mhm.
different revenue sources, we're all trying to create. But that's been my
Mm.
focus now for 2025, which brings me to Owners Club.
Awesome.
Um, and with Owners Club, obviously I'm looking for higher level individuals who are actually doing things. And so um, I'm a firm believer in surrounding yourself with other people that are actually doing things is going to elevate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Something you said that I want to kind of circle back to because you said good borrower. What is a
Yes.
good borrower to you?
Good borrower. I mean, obviously, everybody loves the borrower that pays back on time. The other part of a good borrower is paying late fees. And the best part is great communication. So if they're going to be late, not saying, "Oh, I know the loan was due a week ago. Now can we talk about an extension?" It's more like, "Hey, I just want to give you a heads up. In a month from now, I may not have this loan ready to be paid back. I may need an extension. Can we talk about, what that looks like or come to terms on it?" And so, um, for a borrower to be aware that they have a loan coming up that's due and reaching out before it's due is a huge key when it comes to a good borrower.
Hmm. Yeah, speaks to integrity and preparation as well.
Correct.
Seeing what's coming down the road and being willing to have that hard conversation.
Absolutely. I
Cool.
mean, luckily, a lot of my borrowers, even though they get over leveraged or, they're having difficulty paying back the loan, they still work towards it. They still get it done. But it's very tough. And so the ones
Mhm.
who are prepared before it happens, those are the good borrowers I'm speaking to.
Yeah. Will you ever loan to a brand new borrower, or do they have to have a certain level of experience for you to loan
Um,
first?
I I mean, unless it's the wholesaling transactional side, right? Because if the loan's secured, it's secured, regardless if they're new or not. However, when it comes to like gap loans or first positions, they really need some kind of experience because I think there's a lot that goes wrong within a loan, even with experience. And
Mhm.
so if you now have an unexperienced borrower, they really don't know how to navigate it.
Mm. Right. Well, good. Awesome. So if someone wanted to work with you, um, first of all, what's your favorite form of contact? Do you prefer email, text message, phone calls? What does that look
Yeah,
like for
text
you?
message is the best. I'm on meetings on and off all day, every day. I'm constantly trying to listen in on Zooms or working on, looking over a deal or networking or whatever it may be. And so, in between that, or even during some of those, I am still texting, I'm still communicating. And so, text tends to be the best, at least currently.
Awesome. And what is your number?
So, yeah, my phone number is 541-810-8080. And so anybody feel free to reach out to me anytime if they have any questions, concerns, they do want to work with me, whatever it may be.
Awesome. And you are in Pacific time zone.
I
Yes?
am. I'm out of Bend,
Okay.
Oregon. Not the best market, so I'm probably not going to be the boots on the ground for you. But yeah, I've been in the community a while and made some great friendships and connections.
Yeah, awesome. Oregon is beautiful.
Yes.
Um, so if what do you need right now in your business? Like what is the number one thing that if Brett Flory could really launch, to the next level in the
I
next couple
mean,
months, what would that be?
I know it's a pretty generic answer, and I think most people would say the same, but it's always leads.
Mm,
Um, because without leads, you don't have a business. And
mhm,
so, um, not necessarily just leads, but networking with individuals who may have leads. And so, although obviously you need leads to be able to, do deals, however,
mhm,
networking with people who may have those leads, and
mhm,
figuring out how we can collaborate, would be a huge part of Owners Club. And
Awesome.
so I feel like there's a lot of people that we could have good synergy with if we just got on a phone call, discussed how we could work that together, and grow together.
All right. Well, you all heard it here first. He wants to network. You have his phone number, shoot him a text, get on a call with Brett and see how you guys can work together and partner. So I wish you the best, Brett. I will see you next month at our immersion retreat. Hopefully. Yeah, it's just
Yep,
not too far
looking
from
forward
you,
to it.
actually. You could
Yeah.
probably drive that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'll be up in Spokane visiting family up there like the week before. So as I'm being drove back home, they're going to drop me off on the air at the airport so I can fly down there and hang out with everybody for a few days.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you there and meeting you in person.
Absolutely.
All
I
right. Thanks for your
appreciate it and
time,
I look
Brett.
forward to it too.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, take care.